Good morning, officers. Once again, I'm back with new topic, with new day happen. So we are going to discuss all these developments, most important development, but what is important for UPSC. Okay. So first one, obviously, the particularly the as we know, daily UPSC is focusing. Means now daily there are one or two news on the IR, but we are focusing on which IR news, international relations news, which are mostly impacting the India's core national interest. Okay, so in this domain, first we will going to discuss the India-UK bilateral ties. Okay, because UK's delegation has arrived in India with largest 125 member delegation have arrived in India. Okay, so our first topic is India UK bilateral ties. Okay, and second one, as we know, we have achieved the milestone to counter the hegemony of Western countries, to counter the narratives of Western countries about their indices and everything. So in 2024, particularly Niti Aayog came up with one idea that if Western countries can start their own indexes for the global world, we can start our own for the global south and including the global west. If you see how develop its own red data book. Okay, what is this, why this is important, everything. And one more thing I yesterday forgot to discuss, that is quantum physics, quantum mechanics, because this year's Nobel prize in physics goes to the quantum mechanics. Why it is important, why what are the questions UPSC had asked earlier. So all these three topics we are going to discuss, and if time permit we will discuss one more topic like related to the current development and everything. Okay, so first topic is our India UK bilateral ties. Why this is in the news? Because mostly like just a minute. Okay, India UK bilateral ties. India UK strengthen the defense and trade ties during the PM Keir Starmer's first India visit. Okay, now tell me, UK is our colonial master, and who is now largest economy compared to these two countries? India. So this is ultimately the win of India's diplomacy, India's strong democratic principles, India's strong democratic setup, and the commitment for the welfare of the people. Okay, so in this contest, why Keir Starmer is too much willing to engage with India post Brexit? As you know, since 2016, UK came out from the EU bloc and they charted their own course of action in this domain. In European Union, UK is power. UK still have the veto power. You do remember, UK have UNSC permanent membership. Okay, and that to veto power. This becomes important. But this veto country, this is the permanent P5 country engaging with India, that means there are certain reasons. What are these reasons? Now we are going to discuss all these reasons. Okay, let me mention the first reason. Okay, and this is the key highlights of the visit. Okay, key highlights of the visit, the largest mission in the India building the UK. Now tell me one thing, what are the key reasons? Okay, obviously the economic might of India. In economic, India's market side, India's defense, then India's people to people contact with India's people, diaspora present in the UK. Okay, India's regional cloud, in the issues of Iran, in the issues of Israel, in the issues of Gaza, and India maintaining its strategic autonomy, and India itself acting as a pole in global power dynamics. Okay, because of these reasons, UK want to engage with India, democratic India, and as our honorable Prime Minister explicitly mentioned, world's oldest democracy, monarchical, though it is called as USA, full democracy, but the democratic setup first arise in which country? 1960, sorry, 1689, 1651, United Kingdom. So do remember, oldest democracy, United Kingdom, and oldest largest democracy, democratic values. India and UK shares the first prime principle, that is democratic values, and on that basis UK want to engage with India. Okay, so this is the first reason why UK is engaging with India. Now second reason, economic reason. Tell me how many digital infrastructure in India and how many Indians are contributing to the UK's economy. If you see, in the month of July, in the month of August, we have signed the free trade agreement with the UK, and this is the first free trade agreement of India with any developed country. Okay, any developed country, which include the P5, India has signed the agreement with Australia, but any developed country. Now, in economic also, India is third largest, then trade, service sector, and India's agriculture domain. Okay, so all these are the important economic dimensions of India-UK bilateral ties. Okay, and that's why India means, but that's why India is giving attention to the UK also. UK is more focusing on India to get engaged with India and to be participate in India's because if you see India's UPI system, India's digital public infrastructure, many COVID, DigiLocker, they are the prime example. They are the torch bearers of India's rising power. Because see, if you go to the Germany, if you go to the UK, if you go to the France, there is no system of UPay to pay the money. There is no system of DigiLocker. Might be they have their own different system, but the DigiLocker things, means this making the government more transparent and open. This taking the government to the public door. Means this is the core. What is the democracy? To provide the services to the people. And UK, France, Germany, they are learning from India. This is the very big achievement of India as a global power. France accepted the UPI system. Now UK is on the way to accept the UPI system. Do remember, and because of this reason, UK want to engage with India. Understand? Okay, this is the first reason. Second reason, defense reason. In defense sector, tell me which is the third largest army after US, China, India. Okay, sorry, after US, Russia, India. Means in the overall logistic and everything, India have surpasses their colonial masters. See how this is a pride movement for India. The country which ruled India for 150 years, and that small tiny country, they dominated India over the 150 years. They shaped the modern India's history. Now they are asking India to participate with them. This is a very big achievement. Just think about a best example, a son which is criticized by their relatives, everyone, not respected, not getting dignified. Now all his relatives are asking them, his relatives are asking him to just talk to them. This is a real achievement. This is a real achievement of that individual, and this is a real achievement of India, because UK want India should participate with them. India should cooperate within the defense sector. India should cooperate with them in the economic sector. Okay, and if you remember, India's defense export has increased tremendously from 600 crore to the 23,000 crore. And India's BrahMos missile, India's Akash missile, India's particularly the advanced new technology, DRDO's contribution, India's space satellite, all these are means alluring the UK to participate in the defense sector. Okay, so do remember, and one of the dimension of defense sector, defense and security is, what is that dimension? The dimension is India's nuclear rise. India's nuclear rise, as India is holding, means recognized nuclear power, not under the NPT but globally. UK have the nuclear power, but does UK have that much capability, the willingness, will, compared to the India? And India have the vast experience of the war, terrorism, this. So in this context, UK want to learn this from the India. So UK is participating. UK is partnering with India. Okay, making the partnership with India, and we have set up the India UK bilateral ties strategic partnership vision 2035. This is the last year only. Okay, so this is a defense. Now, public to public partnership. As we know, Birmingham is called as second India. Okay, because our forefathers, they settled in the UK and they set up even the largest house, Rishi Sunak, then the group of Gupta group. All these are the Indian origin descendant, though they have the citizenship of the UK, but they are ultimately the Indian descendant. And these people to people types make UK to participate to get partner like India. Okay, this is the third dimension. In the defense sector, I forgot, recently the exercise Konkan is underway on the western coast of India. So that is also the means partnership of the armed forces. This is also important dimension of India UK partnership, and UK want to partner UK want to be partner with India. Okay, now the third one is regional level. If you see India's West Asia stand, India's particularly the Israel-Iran stand, and India's rise as a, okay, in regional domain, I will write in South Asia, in Indian Ocean region, which is the de facto power, India. UK want to be partnership with India. The reason is simple: rising India, emerging India, and India's steady fast support to the India policy of strategic autonomy. India is not getting dictated by the USA. India is not getting dictated by the Russia. India is not getting dictated by the China's assertiveness. India is not getting by the influence by the Pakistan. But India is charting its own course of action, in its own course of action, in the vision of the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. First, second, India want to fulfill its hardcore national interest, to protect its people, to protect its territory, to stand with the right, not this side or that side, to stand with the international law, to stand with the international principles. That's why India, despite out of the AUKUS, India supported free and fair open Indo-Pacific. Okay, and UK want post-Brexit they should be like India. Okay, even America have learning lesson from India how America means how a country can chart its own course of action despite maintaining the relationship with China also, Russia also, and USA also, and Russia also. This is a classical example how to balance the relationship. For individual also, to balance, for the son, he has to balance the wife and he has to balance the relationship with the husband. Sorry, mother. Similarly, what happened in the family, same happen at the international level. Okay, so it is common purpose in India, that is what is happening in the particularly the Mohalla, the same thing happen at the means in Delhi also, and the UN also. And because of this reason, UK want to get experience of India's strategic autonomy. Okay, so do remember this thing. Now tell me one thing: India's space sector rise, India's healthcare rise. Okay, India's space sector rise. This is a, like you can see the India's space sector rise, India's health sector rise, and India's service sector. All these are prime force for UK to get participate with India. Okay, so these are the significant factors which making UK to be partner with India. This is UK dimension. Now tell me why India is engaging with UK. Question is there. This is not a unidirectional flow, but there is a bidirectional flow. So why why India is engaging with UK? Okay, so let me show you the dimensions of India UK. Why India is engaging with UK. Okay, now tell me first, economic dimension. Same dimension will come, but there will be a difference in the point. Then the defense dimension, then UN level, UNSC. Okay, then particularly the NSG support, then people to people ties. In this economic also you can mention the trade, agriculture, okay, service sector, okay, people to people ties as I have mentioned. Okay, the next one will be, let me, okay, fifth point will be the connectivity, okay, then regional dimension will come, and good practices from the UK. Okay, so first is economic dimension. As we know, India is rising power. India have the MSME sector, which can boost, which can support the UK's emerging UK's manufacturing hub. Manchester, we call as the Bombay as the Manchester of India. Manchester. Similarly, we can call this Manchester itself. The cotton trade, historical ties we have. Agriculture. India have the too much advantage in agriculture sector, in food processing sector, and that can be exploited by India to being a partner with UK. Okay, and if you see, most of the UK's manufacturing is outsourced. It outsourced. They are dependent on the China, and to make it tilt towards India, this is the best opportunity for India to engage with UK. Okay, so this is the economic dimension. Now defense dimension, the best practices, like if you see the means training, then drone technology, then the aircraft technology. Okay, all these are, UK is bit advanced compared to the India, so we can learn from them. Counter terrorism, and then the particularly in defense sector I would mention the security issue, that is the issue of Khalistan. Our prime minister yesterday raised this issue before the prime minister of UK to resolve this issue. Because if you want to partnership in the all domain in the peaceful way, you should address the minor issues. That should not be the disagreement, should not be the dispute, and dispute should not be the escalation for this, means dispute should not be become the conflict. Okay, so do remember, disagreement should be confined to the disagreement only. It should not lead to the dispute, and dispute not lead to the conflict, and conflict did not lead to the war. This is an escalation later. So small disagreement that should be addressed bilaterally. So Khalistani is one of the issue. Okay, now the UN support. UK official stand is support to India's membership to UNSC. Okay, so do remember this. Official stand is to support India's membership to the UNSC. Now, nuclear supplier group. UK member of the nuclear order. This nuclear supply group is a group which support the nuclear related export import. Okay, so China is opposing India's membership to this group, but UK is supporting. Okay, so do remember this. This is the global level. Now the people to people, as I mentioned. Similarly, like UK, India also respect its diaspora, which contribute to the around 2 to 3% of UK's population. Okay. Now next one is the connectivity. In connectivity, there are two: digital connectivity, as I mentioned earlier, and the IMAP. India, Middle East, European, India, Middle East, India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor. Okay, this becomes important for India to be. If India get connected with the Central Asian Republic, India get connected with the Europe, India automatically get connected with the UK. Okay, through the English channel. So these are the important point which makes India to be partner with the UK. Okay, the next one is regional dimension. Afghanistan issue,
ठीक है, इसका क्या
partnership in
आंसर
the
आ रहा है?
African region. India is
25.
right now
नेक्स्ट
India
वाले
is
का
partnering
वेरी
with
गुड.
the Japan in Africa, in particularly in the India Japan Africa corridor. But same way we can
इसका आ रहा
opt
है
for the
150. एक लास्ट 15 का भी
UK,
कर दीजिए बस.
and even the India's voice as a
करें
global
15
south
का.
is become very stronger if India gets the support of UK at the WTO platform. India can raise the issue. India had raised the issue, and if India gets the support of UK, the resolution of WTO is possible. Okay, now good practices, particularly in the NPS, that is a National Health System of UK, is the best example how health sector can be managed by the public. Okay, education practices, education, they have the even the recently the Oxford University, they decided to set up their Oxford or Howard, but I don't know, but one of the UK university, they have decided to set up their campus in India. Okay, so there is a education, health space, then people to people ties, all these are making India to be partnership with the UK. So these are the importance for each other. So that's why the 125 member delegation is in India. They are talking about the fair study. They attend the fintech conference. That fintech means sharing the financial technology with each other, and most important, the UPI. Now tell me, what exactly the constraint in India UK bilateral ties leadership remarks? Okay, I have discussed this: the strategic partnership, then the investment model, the significance of each other's bilateral ties. Okay, so do remember this. Okay, significance of India for the UK. Okay, I have
इसका
discussed
क्या
this
आया?
thing. Now,
वेरी गुड. इसका आया होगा 400.
what exactly the
4000
issues?
सॉरी.
Okay,
4000 आया होगा सभी का. क्लियर
issues
है?
between India UK
आपको
bilateral
ये
ties.
पूरी की पूरी पीडीएफ प्रोवाइड हो जाएगी. ठीक है,
Constraint, not I would say key issues, but
लास्ट में देखिए
constraint.
कितने क्वेश्चन है. 34, 50 क्वेश्चन है.
First is
और
security.
50 क्वेश्चन के बाद उनकी आंसर की भी है. अब आंसर की के बाद उनके सॉल्यूशन भी दे रखे हैं कि आप अगर किसी
Trade
सॉल्यूशन में फंसते हो
imbalance.
तो आप सॉल्यूशन देख सकते हैं कि किस तरीके से हुए थे. सेम बिल्कुल सिंप्लीफिकेशन की तरह बात की गई है और लास्ट में आप कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो इस पीडीएफ को कर लीजिएगा. इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं मिलेगा.
Tell me guys, issues
सारे के
trade
सारे थोड़ा
imbalance
सा दूर दूर
in
बैठ जाइए. आपके ग्रुप पर आपका टेस्ट पहुंच चुका है.
India
ठीक है,
UK
25
ties.
क्वेश्चन है. 24 जिसके भी ठीक हुए बिल्कुल बेसिक सा है. और सबसे बड़ी
Then
बात
issue
पीवाई
of
को आया
global
हुआ
south.
है. 25 क्वेश्चन है, 30 मिनट्स का टाइम दे रहा हूँ. 25 क्वेश्चन है, 30 मिनट्स का टाइम दे रहा हूँ. बहुत बेसिक सा टेस्ट है.
Then issue
इससे
of
कि आपको पता चले कि आप कितनी जल्दी कर सकते हो.
migration, human rights.
हाँ मैडम, सबको दे दिया. आपको मैंने किसी को दे दिया था. चलो
Then
आप वाला
issue
देते हैं,
of
कोई दिक्कत नहीं. रिद्धि, हाँ रिद्धि के पास.
regional level. That is ACOS example. You can mention the
ओके.
okay security, Khalistani.
नहीं बनी थी.
Do mention these examples. Okay. Then trade imbalance, service sector, limited to the agri. Okay, even though trade means service is in the positive in India's favor, but this is not positive. I mean other manufacturing sectors are not positive in the India's favor. And the third, the sixth dimension is China factor. Okay, China factor. So all these are the how China factor.
चेक करिएगा.
Make in India. Okay, so Do remember this thing.
कीजिए.
All these are the issues of India, China, India, UK bilateral ties. First is how
सारे बच्चों को मिल गया होगा.
Tell me one
सारे
thing.
करेंगे.
Which country having the most Khalistani issue? They means indirectly they are supporting the not taking action on the Khalistani revolt, because ultimately that is hampering. There was one incident. India's embassy become the Indian flag, Indian national flag. Uh, Flag hoisting ceremony was going on, and that time there was a protest outside the Indian embassy in the London. Can you imagine the gravity of the situation? Mostly
आशना,
the
हार्दिक, मेहिका, यशिका, कीजिए
UK,
फटाफट.
Canada, they support the freedom of speech. On the one hand, they said this is freedom of speech, but you should respect your commitment to the global country, commitment to the country like India. So this is major issue. This is a major constraint regarding the security. Another dimension is Pakistan diaspora. If you see any match in India and Pakistan in the London, there is always diaspora, the lobby, which is influencing India's means UK policies toward Pakistan, UK policies toward India. This lobby is there in UK's parliament, UK's lawmaking, UK's lawmaking think tank. Okay, now trade imbalance. In trade imbalance, services in India's sector, India is positive, but goods and trade barriers, the so-called sanitary and phytosanitary barriers, which are limiting India's manufacturing sector. Even we have the one best example is Apeda's organic farming export. UK rejected apparently many of the India's organic products because of their rules of the sanitary phytosanitary issues. Okay, so this is the one of the concern which India is continuously raising with UK delegation. Now tell me the global south issues. If you remember, during the COVID-19 pandemic, UK, Japan and USA supported the patent. Means just think, people were dying during the COVID-19 and the vaccine of AstraZeneca, vaccine of the developed country, they developed initially. So they were wanted to preserve the patent rights, and India with South Africa demanding the patent waiver under the WTO agreement, and UK opposed this. So this ultimately led to the little bit disagreement between the UK and India ties, because at the one hand, India is considered the leader, mouthpiece of the global south. Okay, India is considered as a mouthpiece of the global south because of India's NAM policy, because of India's Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and at the same time, UK is opposing the loan waiver, means this patent waiver. This is the dichotomy, hypocrisy of the Western countries. So this is the point where India and UK diverse, and this is one of the constraints. I forgot to mention one more constraint, the migration issue. I have mentioned there is one seventh dimension to this is, what is that? Seventh dimension, Ukraine conflict. Okay, India did not say this is a war. Do remember, Western country mention it as a war, but India did not mention the, because India is supporter of Russia's sovereignty, and UK teaching us lesson how to deal with the bilateral ties, how to handle the issues. Just think, which country supported India 5 times veto in UNSC for the India? Which country used this veto? That is Russia. Do remember this. Russia has supported India in UNSC for 5 times. That resolution was more on the Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, so do remember. And UK is telling India that what you are doing with the, particularly what you are doing with the trade with Russia, this is not wrong. You are just funding the war. Who is funding the war? EU or India, or UK or India? Who is buying more oil? Who is buying more natural gas? It is obvious. So this is one of the factor which is triggering India UK bilateral ties. Okay, so do remember this thing. Now tell me, migration. UK has enacted the one law to people means those who are illegally coming to there, migrated to the UK, they now shifted to the African country. And India is the issue that you have the policy, but why to African country? They UN have the convention, the refugee convention of 1951 says that there is no refoulement policy. UK is member of refoulement, UK is member of that convention, and still UK is enacting the law to migrate the people. What about human rights? You are teaching the principle of so-called white man burden. Where is your white man burden right now? So in this domain, India have divergence with UK. Okay, so this is the fourth point. Fifth is the regional dimension. This particular AUKUS excluded India. India is member of Quad. This AUKUS excluded India, but India did not say this. But it hurt in India's policy think tank that why they excluded India. We are the member of Quad, but argument was certain different. Argument was that India is dealing with France. So this is also point of divergence. Now next is China factor. Most of the UK's import in the manufacturing, they are coming from China, and most of the UK's investment going to the China, not to the India. So India is raising issue. Why you are not investing in India? We are providing you free market. We will provide you facility. Why you are not investing? This is a valid point, and that's why UK agreed to sign the FTA. Okay, so all these are the constraints between the India-UK ties. Now tell me how we can manage the bilateral ties. Okay, let me write down here only. Okay, ways to what are the ways? Now tell me, what are the ways? First one, smooth implementation of FTA. Okay, then FDI flow. Okay, FDI flow. Then bilateral issues resolution. Okay, then what else you can say? The regional level partnership. Okay, fifth point. Then people to people engagement. Okay, and sixth will be discussion and dialogue. Then cooperation in areas, enhancing the cooperation in areas like education, health, then service sector, then health, education, then particularly the space and science and technology. So all these are the areas where India and UK can cooperate. Okay, FTA, free August only we have signed this FTA 2025. Make it smooth implementation. If we smoothly implement this FTA, then it will be very easy to engage deeply in the economic domain. Okay, so this is one. The next is FDI flow. FDI, this is also economic dimension, but if UK invest FDI in India rather than the China, this can be the positive point. Don't you think this can be the positive point for India? Okay, so next is bilateral resolution of the issues. In this domain, you can address the issues of Khalistani, you can address the issues of terrorism, and UK can support India's claim on the, like, they can take action. Even yesterday the Prime Minister of UK, they explicitly mentioned that they will take the hard action on the Khalistan. Okay, so bilateral. Then regional issues, despite the ACOS and despite the everything, IMAC is means IMAC or bilateral means a trade route. Okay, bilateral engagement at regional level. India UK can partner with the rebuilding of the Gaza, resolution of the Russia Ukraine issue. India have very good ties with the UK also. India have good ties with Russia also. India, both these areas can be explored, because if you have the issues with certain area, it doesn't mean that if that area is not high politics issue, if that is a minor disagreement, then you can have engagement with other areas. And these are the ways where India can have this area. Then people to people ties. In people to people engagement, just tell me diaspora engagement, then the discussion and dialogue. First and foremost principle of any diplomacy, that is the discussion and dialogue, because it is said that the words of diplomats are the weapons. Okay, and discussion and dialogue is the first and last resort to resolve any conflict or issue or disagreement. Okay, then these area, both countries have the advantage. They can share the good practices, advantages. So by this way, these areas can be become the pillar of India UK bilateral cooperation. Okay, so do remember, because in prelims mostly the question will not come on the what exactly the agreement, but in mains there is chances that India's recent agreement in UK, how it will, what are the implications, positive implications, negative implications. Okay, so overall this was our India UK bilateral ties. Okay, bilateral ties, why India UK is engaging with India, why India is engaged with UK, what are the constraints and way forward. Okay, so do remember, by this note I will end our first topic. Now next topic of our discussion is this one. Okay, and this becomes very important for us to study. The reason is, there is every year one question on biodiversity in the prelims, not one or two question in prelims and one question in mains, because our prelims exam is also exam for the forest. Okay, so what happens generally, more questions will come from the environment and geography sections, sometimes, not always. Okay, so in this domain, what we are going to, what is red list, red book of the IUCN, we have taken the reference of the IUCN, so we will discuss what exactly the red book and why it is maintained, what is the importance of India's national red list. Okay, overall biodiversity. Can anyone tell me what is biodiversity? Biodiversity is nothing but the study of the flora and fauna. Do remember. And what are the types of biodiversity? Terrestrial biodiversity, aquatic biodiversity. In terrestrial also there are three kinds: plant and animal. Then the plant, animal and the marine. In the aquatic and marine ecosystem. Do remember this. Aquatic ecosystem, in that also comes with the marine. Okay, so we are going to discuss national red list. And one more point you should remember, the why in the news, India is third largest, particularly the 7th mega diverse country, 4 national biodiversity hotspot, then the around 8% of the endemic species. Okay, in this domain, this red list, red data list is important. Now, from where we have taken this red data book? Okay, we have taken, this is India's red data book. Okay, the national red data book, the particularly Zoological Survey of India. Just remember this. I am not going to go in detail what exactly the technical details. I will tell you the broader perspective. broader perspective. The first one is red book. Red book from IUCN. Okay, what is IUCN? A global NGO established in 1948. 2015 UPSC asked the question on what is IUCN, nature of the IUCN. Even 2015, 2019, 2023. Okay, there are questions on the IUCN red data book. IUCN. What are the categories of the red data book? The importance of red data book and why it is called as red data book. Okay, red data books is nothing but like because of the threatening the species. First of all, tell me what is the species in the biology, in the term of ecology. What is species? A group of organisms which are capable of inbreed, producing the offspring. That is species. Okay, do remember this. Producing the own offsprings. Offsprings in the means you can say the children or child or not children. Okay, new species, newborn offspring. Okay, this is maintained by the IUCN, and there are different types of species. If you see the different types of species, first one is a native species, then endemic species, then alien species. Not sorry, just a minute. Exotic species, endemic species, exotic species, native species. Then the particularly the alien species we can call as alien also. But this flagship species, flagship, keystone. Okay, so these are the native species which are means their origin is in India or particular any territory. For example, Asiatic lion. Okay, Asiatic lion, Gir National Park is originated in India, so it is a native to India. Asiatic lion. Now endemic. Endemic is a species which is a confined to the particular area. Endemic and emic. End means last. This area. Best example is Nama Dapas flying squirrel. Okay, it is confined in the Arunachal Pradesh Nama Dafa National Park. Best also Bengal florican is there, Indian subcontinent. Then the one-horned rhinoceros. Okay. So all these are the endemic species. Now what are the exotic species? Exotic species are the means particularly the GM crop we can say. Alien species, Lantana camera, which are non-native to the particular territory. Senna in Senna you can see. Senna in the Kerala, then the particularly the Lantana camera. Okay, all these are the alien species. Okay, so do remember flagship and keystone species. Flagship species means they are the flag bearers of that particular ecosystem. For example, Asiatic lion of Sundar, India tiger, Royal Bengal tiger of Sundarban. Similarly, the particularly if you take the example of the Central India gore, the Nilgai, showing the indicators mushroom. Okay, these are the means indicators of the quality, means flagship means flag bearers. In Olympic also there is one individual which is a flag bearer of particular country. That means it represents the country whole as a whole. Similarly, the flagship species. Okay, so even the flagship species in aquatic like Indian dolphin, Ganges river dolphin, that is also flagship species. Do remember keystone species, elephant, keystone to the particular national park, particular Eastern Ghat, Western Ghat. Okay, sandalwood, endemic species. So these species are important for us to study because they are directly asking question on the species. Every year there is one question on the species. This species, this year they asked the species and particularly the crop and their families. One year they asked the particular protection mechanism, either aquatic species, either marine species, or either the terrestrial, in that also animal, or there are n number of questions every year from the nocturnal species, from the Bengal florican to GIB, then lion, Asiatic lion, all this every year there is one question. What you have to do? You have to study the simple way. What is that? To make sure that India's flagship species mentioned in the WPA Act 1972, Schedule 1, Schedule 2, these are in the news. Leatherback turtle, endangered species. This is in the news. Why? Because of the Greater Nicobar project. So do remember such kind of things, because if you remember this thing, definitely there is one question on at least these four kind of, like there are biodiversity. In that biodiversity, aquatic biodiversity, terrestrial. In terrestrial there are marine. There is a particularly the animal and plant biodiversity. In this aquatic, marine biodiversity, then super pond biodiversity. Okay, so do remember this. Now we will come to the this red book. Red book is launched by the IUCN. Then it has a different categories: extinct, near extinct, extinct in the wild, then critically endangered, endangered. Okay, and the least concerned, vulnerable, least concerned. These classifications are important for us. Only two classifications, that is endangered, critically endangered, and which Indian species. For example, Great Indian Bustard. Is it endangered or critically endangered? Sandalwood, red sandalwood. Is it endangered or critically endangered, or it has changed its category? Then lion-tailed macaque. Is it endangered or critically endangered? Asiatic lion, Royal Bengal tiger. Okay, so do remember all these species which I have mentioned, they have certain category under IUCN. Okay, and UPSC will directly give the example like Bengal florican is considered as a least concerned species under the IUCN list. The statement is correct. They will give with reference to the Bengal florican. Consider the statement. It is classified under the WPA Act. It is considered as a endangered species under the IUCN. Then it is omnivorous. So you have to go through this particular species and not need to study all the species. You have to just focus on the key species, 4 to 5 species. That's it. Not means not 4 to 5 species, like 10 to 20 species which are in the PYQ and which are in the news. Two things only. PYQ and PYQ, that to last 10 years and 10 to 15 years, and the current news. Leatherback turtle. Do remember this. Okay. Now, what is the important significance of this red India's national red list? Okay, creating the comprehensive national database of threatened species, aligning the India's conservation framework with the IUCN red list of methodology. Okay, so these are the significant importance in the India. India has the, that's why there was one question, that is India is considered the particular, India is considered as the subcontinent. Why? Himalaya, Western Ghats, Eastern Himalaya, 4 biodiversity hotspot we have, and this hotspot make India most mega biodiverse country. And to protect this mega biodiverse country, the national red data list is very important. Okay, so do remember the importance of this red data book. Next one, ensuring the integrity of biodiversity of national conservation plan, promoting the community participation and the regional cooperation. How this is happening? Integration. Tell me, we have just policies, but we are not implementing. There is one very good book written by the Gunnar Mariard, that is Asian drama. In that book, he said that in Asia, countries are soft state. Even though they have the laws, they are not implementing. Okay, so this red data list book shows that the exact implementation, integration of the theory with practical. Provide the visionary document to provide the vision to achieve, provide the ambition to achieve the particular target. Okay, so this is important. This is a paramount to integrate the theory with practical, and this red data list book, red data list is same, integrating the theory with practical implementation. Okay, now the next one is community. So who is too much close to the particular this species? Maldhari tribe, if you know the Asiatic, they are the residing in the Gir National Park. Why? Because they have good connect with the Asiatic line, and this makes important for us to take community in the consideration, community as a forefront, the to tackle the issues of the existing the wildlife spaces. Even there are certain Bishnoi tribe, they reaches, they means now they venerate, revere the biodiversity. What is sacred growth? Showing reverence to the environment, and this is important for us as a whole. We should revere, we should show our reverence, obeisance to the earth planet, because earth is going under the onset of the climate change and because of anthropogenic factors. And in this domain, this red data book is very important. This is our collective reverence toward earth, toward the species, by following the One Health approach, by protecting the species, by monitoring the species which are in the extinct, which are in the extinct in the wild, which are threatened. Okay, so this is the importance, this is the significance of this overall national red list of the animal, particularly the rhinoceros and everything. What India have done and what releasing the red list to protect the India's mega diversity status. India is one of the mega diverse country, and to protect, to maintain this status, we need a collective action from the people of India. Okay, so do remember what are the challenges, what is the importance of red list database, who published this, what is the significance of this red list. Okay, by these notes I will end our this is second topic, and I will, in short, I will take the one article as I mentioned, the quantum properties, quantum mechanics. For us, what is important? For the discovery of the macroscopic quantum mechanical tunneling and energy quantization in the electric circuit. Tunneling, energy quantization. Technical words: tunnel, passing through. If you know the bit, qubit, or entanglement of the particles, existence of the together. Okay, in the conventional traditional physics, traditional mechanics, two particles exist separately. Okay, this is one particle, this is one particle, and in quantum mechanics they are entangled with like this all. Okay, they are entangled this way, and this makes to store more energy, to provide the more energy, to provide the more space. That's why quantum mechanics is important. No, quantum mechanics, quantum physics, you can say. Just think these terms are related to the quantum physics and quantum mechanics. Okay, these are the existence of one, but in this is the traditional computering. Okay, means in traditional physics, but in one go only. Okay, interacting like this. Okay, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, or quantum computing means there are different minor differences, but all this uses the principle of quantum, that is entanglement, cohesion, and acting more force, taking action quickly. If a particular sky mare, there was one like one quantum, Google open its quantum physics, quantum computer, the speed is increased. Okay, and what are the properties of quantum mechanics? The properties of quantum mechanics are entanglement, beat, qubit, tunneling, equalization. Okay, so do remember this four term. UPSC had asked the question in 2022. Qubits is related with what? Quantum mechanics is nothing but following the quantum principles. Quantum principles are the principles which show the certain properties, showing the more data, including the storing the more energy, providing the more space for the result. Okay, and for the AI, this is important. Now, what are the significance? Easy data analysis, providing the more space. Then the in various domain you can the quantum space we can use for the defense technology, economic operations. Okay, farmer, quantum mechanics, quantum detail the drones can use in the agriculture sector. Then quantum mechanics in the prevention of analysis of forecasting of the disasters, climate predictions. All these are the applications of the quantum physics, quantum mechanics. Okay, quantum computer you can say. There are minor difference, like I will say agri sector, health sector. Okay, then defense, then AI, then IT services. Okay, what else? Defense, IT, AI, then agri sector. Okay, then one more. Can you tell me the communication technology forecast? Now AI is based on the quantum mechanics only. Okay, fundamental to the AI, the generative AI, mechanic AI, all the type of AI is supported by the quantum mechanics because they are the like analyzing the thing, providing the data. Then IT services, processing the things, BPO services. Okay, BPO services, then the data analysis, coding, decoding can be enhanced by the use of quantum computer. Okay, then communication technology in far-flung areas, in the remote areas of northeast, in the remote areas or war-torn areas in the Middle East, this quantum computer can be used, quantum forecasting can be used to deal with the means providing the communication technology. Now one more, the forecasting the disasters, forecasting the climate change disaster, one of the significance of the quantum computer. Okay, so do remember what is quantum mechanics, what is quantum physics, and what, see in all this quantum is common. Do remember the quantum means the entanglement, tunneling, equalization, and the reinforcement. These are the properties of the quantum mechanics, quantum computer, quantum physics. They have the high speed, low latency, providing the different applications. Okay, so do remember all the applications of the quantum mechanics. Might there will be the chances that UPSC will ask the question on the applications of the quantum mechanics in the agriculture, applications of the quantum mechanics in the particularly the health sector. This year they asked the question on the applications of the nanotechnology. Okay, so do remember all these points because these are the important. Today we have covered the three topics: India UK ties, then the second one was our India's national red list, and the third one was this quantum mechanics. We will make one separate video on the all the Nobel Prize, their discovery and their basic form, basic static portion. Okay, so by these notes I will end our today's discussion. If anyone want to give test their knowledge, we are arranging the open test on this coming Saturday, that means tomorrow. If anyone is interested, they can enroll for the online, they can enroll for the offline, and they can give the test. This is the base for the just for the mentorship starting session. Okay, so any one of you want to enhance their preparation to get the guidance from the well qualified persons and the guidance from the aspirant who are already in the process, they can join our Sankalp Sarthi means mentorship program. Sankalp Sarthi means mains is there, prelims is there, are different verticals. But Sankalp Sarthi mentorship program in the batch is going to start on the 14th of October. If anyone of you is interested, they can join the Sankalp Sarthi mentorship program. Okay, do remember 225